Hello, Björn. It's so nice to meet you.
Hello, nice to meet you as well.
It's such an honor to be here also in this wonderful set.
Yes, you're in Skopelos.
Skopelos.
An island in Greece. And this is a taverna in Skopelos.
What is Mamma Mia the Party for the people who don't know?
Well, the idea came from the musical, actually, the stage musical, because at the end of that, people always stand up and sing and dance, and they're so obviously in a party mood. And I thought if there was somewhere to go after the musical, they would go there to have a party.
Yeah.
And then I was in Skopelos when they filmed the exteriors of Mamma Mia. There were a few little tavernas. When the movie was a huge success, the tourists came to Skopelos. And I thought, why don't we make a Mamma Mia party for those tourists every night in my taverna?
Give them a place to dance.
Yes.
To sing.
So then I moved the taverna to Stockholm, and we created Mamma Mia the Party.
But is that how your brain always works? You just go somewhere and you think of another innovative idea? Is that you see a taverna and you're like, oh, we should make this out of it? That's quite incredible.
I'm always curious, and I'm always, embarking on new projects.
Yeah.
And quite how, I don't know. It just happens. You see something, you hear something, and you imagine something. It's part of like writing songs or that world. And also I'm very privileged because not only can I imagine things, I can make them real as well, like Mamma Mia the Party or like Voyage.
I've been there as well. I've met your hologram. It must be nice to have a hologram, I thought, as well, because then I was like, oh, sometimes, you have to go to places, but you don't really want to go. It's like, how nice would it be?
It's not bad. My avatar has been performing now for 2.5 years in London.
He's doing well.
Yeah, doing really well.
Doing really well. Is it strange to see yourself also in like your younger years more, or have you gotten used to it? Because obviously you've created it and you were there.
It's not a big thing. I see him as sometimes as someone else,
Oh, really?
Is that guy from the 70s with the funny costumes.
Back to Mamma Mia the Party, what has been the biggest surprise for you regarding the music? Were you like, okay, so Mamma Mia, obviously it's going to be a big hit, some of the Gimme Gimme, the big songs. Was there a surprise song for you that you're like, oh, I didn't know that would work so well in this concept? The
surprise was that people know many more songs than I thought. We have some songs in here that are not that well known, and still people sing along.
Yeah.
And that came as a surprise to me.
And there's also the lyrics on the menu, obviously, of Waterloo.
Of Waterloo, yes.
Yeah. And I was sitting, because that's what I like about this concept as well. You're sitting in a table, you're meeting new people sometimes, if you don't have the whole table for yourself.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because I feel
some people have started dating after having met.
I can imagine, yeah, if you bond over like what
it's a dating site, this.
Yeah. You should make like dating tables as well for singles and then for
good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not for you anymore, though, because you recently got married last Saturday. Congratulations still.
Thank you very much.
Dancing Queen is by far the most popular wedding song to use. What was the song at your wedding?
There was a singer singing one or two very sad Swedish songs.
Sad songs at your wedding?
Very melancholic, Other than that, there were no ABBA songs, absolutely not.
No, I can imagine. But it is nice to know kind of what kind of music you listen to, since you've, without you having a say in it, you've been at so many other people's weddings or an integral part of that.
But when I relax at home, put on some music, it's usually something by Beethoven, for instance.
Oh, yeah? Are there any pop artists that you are excited about nowadays that are...
I have a very mainstream taste. I like Imagine Dragons. I think Believer is absolutely wow. I like some of Taylor Swift's stuff. And
what would be your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Again, I'm not original, so it would be Shake It Off.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's up as well, but it's good to hear, because like I was imagining when I went to the Eras tour, and obviously I've been to the avatars as well. I was like, well, ABBA could do this as well with, how many songs have you written in total?
110, something like that.
That's quite an evening. Is there any song that you're like, oh, I wish I could have performed that one when we were still touring live?
Not really, because touring wasn't our thing. We toured very little. The interesting thing for us was to write and record. And that's why we're sitting here today, I think, because we concentrated 100% on writing and recording. If we had gone touring as much as people do today, we would not have written so many good songs.
I was going to ask that because there's different pressures on artists now, also with having to tour or having to be a social media presence, or also what I find quite interesting is that with ABBA, and also here, it's all about the music.
Yes, we concentrated on the music. That's why we came together organically. We were two couples, and we were singing together. We all had separate careers, but we were singing together when we met, had a few guitars with us, when we went on holidays together even a couple of times. And
before the band was really formed?
Oh yeah, before there was even the idea of forming a band. And we thought, it's a nice sound. We have something.
Yeah.
So why not make a record together? Which we did eventually.
Yeah.
But only like 2-3 years after we'd met the ladies.
Because you and Benny met each other first. Yeah, and I also heard that you bonded initially over Beatles songs, is that correct? Or you were playing that to each other?
The first time we met at a party, it ended up in a motel. It ended with us being thrown out by the night porter because we were, playing music too loud. Oh, yeah. And so we were sitting together when the sun went up in a park, Benny and I playing Beatles songs. The Beatles were the reason why both of us started writing songs at all.
What I also found really nice about this experience, it was people who were in their 80s, it was young kids who were 13, 14, yes. I'm in my 30s. What do you think it is within the music that's played here that connects people to each other?
I know that we're on the 4th or 5th generation now. Yeah. And of course, people who grew up with us have played our music to their kids. And gradually, the generation upon generation has been introduced to ABBA music. And also now, TikTok. Lots of young kids have been exposed to ABBA music through TikTok, which is pretty fantastic.
Yeah. When you were younger, who did you listen to, or what was your introduction to music?
The first big influence, I guess, was Elvis Presley. He had an incredible impact on the world that you cannot imagine. And then the Beatles.
It's nice to hear, because I think a lot of people are curious where your influences come from. And I heard that everything changed for you music-wise when you got a guitar when you were 11 for Christmas.
Yes, yes, yes.
Can you explain what changed?
Well, I was a very shy boy, and I started learning to play and to sing and even write little songs. And all of a sudden, I became someone, with that guitar and singing, and people were listening, and oh wow, look, that had an impact on me, definitely, and that was the start of everything. The
start of everything, and certainly because we're also in a celebratory year for you. We've talked about it shortly, but Waterloo, obviously, it's a big year of Waterloo. What is the #1 memory you have right before winning Eurovision that year?
I remember walking up and down in the corridors backstage. Very, very nervous during the voting. And
nervous because you wanted to win so badly, or nervous?
Well, nervous to see where we ended up. As number 6, I would have been that would have been okay as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I never thought we'd win. And I couldn't sit down because my outfit was too tight. Yeah. And suddenly I remember hearing Benny shouting, "We've won!" Then I remember in those days they asked the writers of the song to come on stage first. And I was one of the writers, yeah. But I was in an artist outfit. So I was stopped by a security guard to go on stage. I am a writer. No, no.
You look too good.
Yeah. So I didn't get on stage until it was time to sing the song again.
We love Eurovision as well here in the Netherlands. You're obviously the legend of Eurovision. Look how long your career has been since then and what amazing new things you continue to think of. But we have a few very promising artists from the Netherlands, and I was wondering if you would maybe give your opinion on who would be maybe the best entry for Eurovision. Are you familiar with the work of Roxy Dekker?
Nope.
No? Yeah, well, I'll show it to you shortly.
Vanavond ben jij de baby en ik je sugar daddy. Dit is het noodgeval. Ik weet nu dat een engel bewaart.
Okay, so
what sound do you think would
either of those three, if they have the best song. You know, any artist can win with the best song. It's all about the song. Yeah. People forget that.
You've done so many things. You've invented so many new things. Is there something next? Is there a big dream still?
I'm still curious after all these years, as Paul Simon sings.
I think that's wonderful, and I can't wait to come here again and to see whatever you do next. So thank you so
you're
much.
So welcome. Bring your friends and have fun at Mamma Mia, the party.
How do you say cheers in Swedish again?
Skål.
Skål, or yamas, as we say.
Yes.
In Greece. Thank you so much, Björn.
Thank you.